Kit and Krista, the other day, yesterday, I watched this video. They were talking about the tier list of 2D Marios, and there were in massive disagreement over it. And I kind of wanted to chime in. I wanted to make a video about this. I'm not the biggest platform lover in the world. I actually don't play too many of them, but Super Mario Brothers, I've played every single one, I believe. No, there's one that I didn't play. So let's get started. This is Ryan over at Nintendo. I wanted to do a tier list myself because some of the disagreements they had, I don't understand why Kit was in disagreement, and there was one with Krista. So Super Mario Bros. I have them written down here. I can't remember them, in my head. Super Mario Brothers, the original, was a great game. It was a great game. It was nothing spectacular, but it does have nostalgia factor, so you got to give it that. Now I'm gonna give these things a from F to S ranking. S obviously being the best. And Super Mario Brothers. Now there's a few things that I didn't really care for about it. You couldn't go back, right? So if you advanced in a world or a level, or you couldn't go back. I didn't like that. I think it was a memory issue, or they just didn't know how to do it at the time. I don't really know. So I do have to give it a knock for that. It's kind of boring. There's only one power up. It was a good game, but it's nothing spectacular. But I have to give it a B just because, it's not A worthy, but I do give it a B because it's the first one. It got me started into, liking video games. I'm going to interlude here, though. I didn't ever actually own a regular Nintendo. Well, technically, I owned a regular Nintendo in the early 2000s, but I only owned it for, like a couple months. I really didn't care for it. I didn't play it much, and I sold it. So I started off with the Super Nintendo. So Super Mario Brothers, it was something that I had to go play at other people's houses. So maybe that's it. So I'm going to give it a B. The next game that came out is Super Mario Lost Levels. We didn't really get that here in America until the mid-90s. I think it was 93 or 94 when they came out with that All-Stars, and we could actually play Lost Levels. To my knowledge, that's the earliest that we could play it. That game is terrible. That game is like a giant troll on steroids. It's like if you played Mario Maker, the original, it's like the worst level, like the most hardcore trolling level that you could possibly play. The game it has poison mushrooms. I mean, come on, man. Poison mushroom, really? So, I know the Japanese like to make things a lot harder than it really needs to be. Maybe that was their thing. I have no idea. They can keep it in Japan, and they are getting a solid D on this one. The only reason I'm not giving it an F is somebody put work into the artwork for the cover, which actually looked half decent, and somebody actually made the game. So that's, it's kind of like when you actually fill out your name on a test, you get a little percent for that. That's kind of where we're at with that one. Super Mario Brothers 2 actually has a lot of nostalgia with me. For whatever reason, Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3 are the ones that I played the most. And Super Mario Brothers 2, I really liked it. I never beat it back then. I really, I know it was just a reface of a game that came out in Japan that we didn't actually get, but it was a good game. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give that actually a B, an A. I really liked the game. I finally beat the game in 2020 when I had to have my ankle replaced and I couldn't walk. So I figured what better time than now. And I had it on the Nintendo online service or whatever it's called. So I'm going to give this one an A. I really liked it. This one, I think it's nostalgia giving this an A, but I really I don't know, there was something about it. I really kind of wish they made this like another version of that game. Super Mario Brothers 3, I know is a lot of people's like best game ever. It's not mine. It's not mine. I really liked it. I liked the power-ups. I didn't like the fact that some of the power-ups, like my favorite were like the frog and the boot. You can only use them in one level. Like how? Like why would you go through that much effort to make something that only can be used in one level? Now I think you could take them and you could put them in that little menu bar at the bottom and use them in different levels. But to my knowledge, I think you'd only find them in one level each. So I got a docket for that. But it was definitely on the right path. I liked the map, the overall map. The one thing about that overall map that I did not like was if you got game over, you lost all your progress. You started all over again. Now, I know old games were like that. They were stingy like that. But I'm going to have to dock you for that. So I'm giving you a B. I know a lot of people are going to get mad, but it's my tier list. Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Land. That's the next one in the list. That game is a turd. It's a turd. It's terrible. I don't understand what they were thinking. How is this? It's not enticing. Like, I didn't have a Game Boy in the beginning. I had a Game Boy. I had it after the Super Nintendo. And I remember they were running a special. I really wanted to play Link's Awakening. I never played DX. But I really wanted to play Link's Awakening. And they were running this bundle where you could play Link's Awakening and Super Mario Land, and it was in the same box or something like that. But that game, I can't give any game an F. I don't think. There's one game I'm probably going to give an F. This game, they actually did do some decent stuff with the art on the cover, the actual, the instruction book, and the game box itself looked better and were better than the game. The game was just crap. So I'm going to give it a D. Super Mario World. This is the pinnacle. They reached this pinnacle, and what did it come out in, like 92 or 91, 92? They reached this pinnacle in 91 or 92, and it's a pinnacle that they have not even come close. Not even come close to hitting this again. Maybe Wonder, I don't have high hopes. Maybe, but this Super Mario World was so far above all other Marios. It's not even. It's like its own series. It's like its own thing. Like they hit this, they're like, we can't do any better than this. We'll put out some other stuff just to make sales, but that is a pinnacle. That is an S plus for me. I know I said it was just going to do S. This is S plus territory. This is a fantastic. This is the level that they had to go past on Wonder, and I don't think they're going to do it. I know they got like some psychedelic things and elephants and monkeys or whatever it is, but I don't know. Then they pumped out another turd. Now, this caused some controversy in the Kit and Krista. I will actually link that episode down below so you can go watch it. I agree with Krista on this. Super Mario World 2, I don't know why they call it that. It's Yoshi's Island. The game is like, It's like, The levels are entirely too long. The art is great, and that's it. It's too long. This is not even a platformer anymore. This is like Zelda 2. So I'm going to give it a C. I'm only giving it this because the art in all Yoshi games is like crazy good. Crazy good. The art style of this, maybe it's a different team than Mario. I think Miyamoto worked on this, but the game, C at best, and it's just because of art style. Super Mario Land 2. This game is awesome. This like really pushed the hardware. This is the reason most people bought a Game Boy. This is the Wario Land 2, Wario Land games were really good on there too. This is actually the only reason that I kept my Game Boy, is just so I could fire this thing up. And I was surprised they put it on Nintendo Service Online or Online Service, whatever they call it, NSO. I'm surprised at how easy it was. I went back and played it the other day, and I'm like, man, this is an easy game, but it didn't seem like that back in the day. This game, I have to give, maybe it's nostalgia speaking, maybe it's, I don't know. They really pushed that hardware with this thing. This is an A. It's not an S. It's not S plus, but this is definitely an A. 100%. This game is really good. If you have a Game Boy, if for whatever reason, or if you haven't Nintendo Online Service and you haven't played this game, go try it out. It's a really good game. All right, this is like a dark period as far as I'm concerned. So New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, New Super Mario Brothers 2. What were you thinking? I don't understand what you were thinking. There was another one too. I didn't write it down. I swear there was one on the Wii. Or Wii U, I mean. Maybe that was a remake. This game, the first one, the New Super Mario Brothers, I remember I actually had to do a business meeting. I had to go down to Cincinnati. I knew it was going to be a bunch of meetings and a bunch of blah, 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 talking heads. And I knew I wasn't going to have, and my sister actually lived down there at the time. So I knew that I could go visit her, but the meetings were like just ridiculously long and I didn't feel like doing it after. So I bought, like I managed to actually find a Nintendo DS, which was like impossible to do. And they actually had, crazy enough, New Super Mario Brothers in stock. Imagine that, Nintendo. So I managed to find it and I bought it. I think I kind of remember the game. Like it's crazy to me. Like all these new Super Mario Brothers, they run into each other. They like make a sandwich you don't want. So I remember it getting me through that period of time. It was a week of just blabbering. It got me through that. I think I actually brought it into the meeting a couple times. I was playing it. So it did get me through that. So I'm going to have to give it a B for that just because it was a new feel. It kind of was like a revival of Super Mario Brothers. I really didn't like 64 or Sunshine was terrible. I don't know why people like that game. New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Now this one was just the replay of the one that was on the DS, but it had... like anybody who had a Wii had like 30 controllers, I guarantee it. So it had that playability where you could just, have 4 or 5 people playing it. And that I really liked. That we'd have people over the house, we'd play it. It was a lot of fun. So I'm actually going to give this one an A just because of that. The box looked great. The game was really good with, cooperative modes or whatever, which Nintendo's usually pretty like not great with that. Completely forgot. I can't believe it. I don't even know if I played this game, but I forgot New Super Mario Brothers Wii U. Was it a port? It's crazy how much I remember the first 4 or 5 Mario. So Super Mario 1, 2, 3, Lost Levels, and the best game ever made in the Mario series, Super Mario World. But the rest of them kind of just, they just turn into like this just forgettable ball of catnip or some, whatever. So anyway, just based on the fact that I don't remember it, I'm just gonna give it a C. It's kind of like one of those multiple choice things. If you check off enough things, you might get a C. I'm just gonna give it a C because I probably played it. I'm almost positive after looking at some of the video that I played it, but it wasn't memorable, so I'm gonna give it a C. I do have a marker here, New Super Mario Luigi U. I knew that was a cash grab, so I didn't buy it. They were was it like a Mario anniversary or something like that? They're like, oh, they'll buy this. We're Nintendo, but I didn't, so I'm not even gonna rate that. It looked terrible. New Super Mario Brothers 2 on the 3DS. I had it. I didn't beat it. I don't want to play it again. I probably still own it somewhere. We're going D. We're going D on that one. That one's just like, no. Super Mario Brother Maker. I mean, honestly, God, all I remember was there was coins on the cover, and that's it. Super Mario Maker. This game was the reason, between Splatoon, kind of Bayonetta, and this game was the only reason to own a Wii U. Now, they had some really good games on Wii U. They really did. And they remade Wind Waker, which I'm like, with. But Twilight Princess looked really good. I love that game. So there was a couple games on the Wii U that were definitely worth it. But this is definitely, Splatoon and this one were definitely top of the tier. Super Mario Maker. I'm including this. I know Krista said that this shouldn't be included. I don't understand that because the game actually had Nintendo produced levels on it. So I don't understand why, her thing was on that. I got to give this game an A. It was really good. It was perfect. That Wii Pad finally had a reason to be to exist. It finally had a reason to finally, like years into the cycle of this, like terribly marketed, terribly named system. Like who was in charge of marketing at the time of Wii U? That I mean, nobody bought it. What was it, 10 million units sold? I mean, you could walk into a gas station damn near and buy that system. I mean, it was ridiculous. But this game was definitely an A. It was definitely worth playing, even if it's around today. Still to this day, if they got the servers running, I would play it then, or still now. Super Mario Brothers Run. They talked about this. I wouldn't include this game. I hate games on the phone. I won't play it. I hate them. I don't own. There's not a single game on this phone. Not a single game that I have on any of my phone. I tried it, and it was kind of like that Dr. Mario. It seemed like once you got to a certain point in the game, it was kind of like pay to win. Pay to play. You couldn't get past certain points without buying whatever it was, power ups or whatever. I'm gonna go with a solid F on this. This is just a total fail at all levels. That should have been flushed and never seen. Super Mario Maker 2. What a failure. I mean, just at least they did it. They're like, we want to fail as hard as we can, and they did it. I mean, they did it. The Switch selling like crazy. Games for Switch selling like crazy. Mario movie selling like crazy. They had to have a massive failure, and they did. They did to a level. I don't know. Nintendo's really failed that hard, other than maybe the Wii U and the 3DS. But this is a D. I would give it an F because this game is terrible. But I give them an effort for trying to fail as hard as they did. Like it's Nintendo. Most people buy Nintendo games, no matter how good they are. This is just a fail, such a fail that I'm actually going to give them an upgrade from F to D. So that is my list. Now, will a Mario Wonder upseat or dethrone or whatever Super Mario World? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I don't see it happening. I really don't. There was just a perfect formula in that game that they have not even come close to. What was that, 4 or 5 games in? They had the perfection of Mario, and it's just been a landslide of turds ever since. So that is my tier list. Hopefully I put a tier up there for you. I didn't write them on here, so I don't remember what I rated some of them, but yeah. Anyway, comment down below. What was your favorite? Am I a lunatic for not liking Super Mario Brothers Run or Luigi U or any of these new Super Mario Brothers? I mean, I don't know what happened in Nintendo in the early 2000s. Like, they were phenomenal. 80s, kind of some of the 90s. The Nintendo 64 hit. They couldn't. I mean. What happened was making stock. Maybe they couldn't figure it out. Then GameCube hit. It was way too late. Way too late in that generation cycle. And they Wii was a huge hit only because of you could have it at parties. Otherwise, that system was terrible. Those games were crap. So, they did the best they could. But it seems like maybe Mario Wonder will help them, get back into reality. And that's my video. Anyway, like I said, comments. What's your favorite game in the Mario series? 2D, 3D. I didn't review in this one. I'm not going to probably because I'm just not into them. That's it. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.